Today we're looking at Psalm 97. This is one of three consecutive psalms that talk about the Lord's return, the end of things, God coming to judge the world. 96 and 98, and I think we will look at 96 next week. 96 and 98 stress the joy of God's return for his people. 97, where we are today, it does deal with the joy of God's people, it's certainly there, but also with the element of judgment that's included in God's return. I've seen the psalm described as God's formidable majesty, and there is definitely a real sense of the power and the awesomeness of God's return. So 97. The Lord is king, let the earth rejoice, let the many coastlands be glad. Clouds and thick darkness are all around him. Righteousness and justice are the foundation of his throne. Fire goes out before him and consumes his adversaries on every side. His lightnings light up the world. The earth sees and trembles. The mountains melt like wax before the Lord of all the earth. There's joy there. That's the first 5 verses. The Lord is king, let the earth rejoice, let the many coastlands be glad. Coastlands can mean islands. It tends to mean distant places, unknown, unexplored as yet, wherever people may be. The Lord is king, let the earth rejoice, let the many coastlands be glad. But, that's verse 1, verses 2 to 5, clouds and thick darkness, righteousness and justice, fire consuming his adversaries, lightnings lighting up the world, mountains melting like wax before the Lord of all the earth. This is a God whose power is indeed formidable, a God you certainly don't want to cross or be on the wrong side of. This is a God who's majestic and whose power is greater than anything we can conceive. His coming brings glory and joy, but his coming is awesome, fiery, fearsome to those who would oppose him. And more in verses 6 to 9, along the same lines, the heaven proclaims his righteousness, and all the peoples behold his glory. All worshippers of images are put to shame. Those who make their boast in worthless idols, all gods bow down before him. Zion hears and is glad, and the towns of Judah rejoice because of your judgments, O God. For you, O Lord, are most high over all the earth. You are exalted far above all gods. The gods of the nations, the false gods, the images in old days, maybe the carved idols and graven images and all those things. Today, just as true of different philosophies of communism or capitalism or wealth creation, all the philosophies, all the gods that rule our world and our thinking have to bow down before the true, majestic God of all, who is far above all other gods, far above the gods of money, wealth, power, all those things that people crave and effectively worship. God is greater than all, and will bring down and destroy any other god, anyone else that claims, or anything else that claims people's allegiance, or anything else that people choose to worship and to follow. God will bring it down and destroy it. And all peoples will behold his glory. Or as this psalm puts it, all peoples behold his glory, because it's presenting the future coming of the Lord as a present fact. And we get more of that as we come towards the end. And that's part of the key to understanding this. Verses 10 to 12, the final part. The Lord loves those who hate evil. He guards the lives of his faithful. He rescues them from the hand of the wicked. Light dawns for the righteous and joy for the upright in heart. Rejoice in the Lord, O you righteous, and give thanks to his holy name. This is all in the present tense. Tenses in the Hebrew language are quite complicated and a bit different from ours, but this is very, very much present tense. These things are happening now. The Lord loves those who hate evil. He guards the lives of his faithful. He rescues them from the hand of the wicked. It's not just future promise of pie in the sky when you die. It's talking about blessing now for those who follow him, for those who believe. Light dawns for the righteous and joy for the upright in heart. Of course, in one sense, light dawning for the righteous is part of the great promise of the completion of all things and the purpose of all creation. The Son of Righteousness will arise with healing in his wings, as the last book of the Old Testament tells us, prefacing the coming of Jesus. But light dawns for the righteous. It's not just future, it's present tense too. We can, as we say, see the light, and the light of knowing that God is coming, knowing that God will judge, that he will purify, that he will destroy all evil, and that he will love his people. And so the final verse, rejoice in the Lord, O you righteous, and give thanks to his holy name. Rejoice as if this has already come true. Rejoice as if the Lord has returned and dealt with evil and brought final, complete, wonderful, everlasting blessing to his people and those who love him. He deals with all evil and he blesses his people. And it's a future promise, but it's also to be treated by us as a present reality. The Lord is King, let the earth rejoice. He's not seen by all yet as King, but still we can rejoice. He's an awesome God when he comes, and even mountains will melt at his coming. All evil and all false gods of any kind will be destroyed before him, and his people will rejoice, and the light will dawn, and we can rejoice now in the reality and the firm security of that promise. Amen.